we gon' run it. Hit the field, blast off, watch them all fall. This is AFC North talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Hey, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North talk. Let's go. Hey, AFC North talk.
Welcome to another edition of AFC North Talk. We are presented by Chubbies. We'll talk about them a little bit after. As you see, we're here decked up. Hey, preseason starts today. Well, it started, but for us, starts today in the AFC North. And then the Browns play tomorrow. And I think Saturday is for the Steelers, right?
Yeah, Saturday in Jacksonville. I just realized that Ace's name wasn't. That's fair.
Yeah.
To be fair, like I completely understand, considering that the Bengals have been like third or fourth in all of these. So completely get it.
Q, your mic's out.
Q, you. We can't hear you.
If we rank the wide receivers per dollar, then I think the Bengals are actually fourth place.
Per dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how much money they're making.
Yard per dollar that they're making. I think they're paying the most per production, in the AFC North. So clearly they're terrible.
Okay, so this will be a fun show in my opinion. Yes, we'll talk about number one. I think that's the easier one. And I think we all can agree here that between one and whoever everybody ranks two, the Grand Canyon is in between, right? Grand Canyon is in between.
There's one, and then we're talking about Van Jefferson playing for one team, Deontay Johnson playing for another team.
Van Jefferson's in Tennessee now. I don't got to worry about Van Jefferson.
Huh?
Oh, Van Jefferson's in Tennessee now. I don't got.
Who's the guy you're relying on now?
Robert Woods, who replaced him.
Yeah, it's Van Jefferson adjacent. They were both on that Rams.
He's not had a good camp. I will say that. Seeing him in person has been not great.
Yes. What's his name is still there somewhere, right?
Robinson.
There's a lot of what's his name.
Allen Robinson.
No, Allen Robinson is somewhere.
Jerry, but that's pre you. You don't know the Q stance on Allen Robinson. I know this is like a.
I will just say this. I was 100% right. Like there are some predictions I get that I'm like 80% right on, right? Sometimes I'm wrong. This one was like, no. I told y'all that Allen Robinson was no way was ever going to be worth the money that people were throwing him in free agency. And his production was slightly overrated. And everybody told me crazy. And then 3 years later, Allen Robinson is an absolute bum. And I just want to point this out.
Penn State legend, Allen Robinson.
He was great. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
You know what I mean?
AFC North title legend, Allen Robinson.
That's true.
Good in Jacksonville, pretty solid in Chicago. Then post Chicago was just not great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once he stopped being the only wide receiver worth a damn in a room.
Right.
Okay, so let's start with the number fourth. I'll start here because I think it'll be fun. Because for once. I think the Ravens, we ranked them third overall last year. I have the Steelers here. I have the Steelers at fourth. I have
DK?
With DK. I think DK is good. I think they went for a better version of Pickens. Although I'm not the biggest DK fan. I'm gonna put it out there because the Ravens fans have been trying to get DK forever. I'm like, do we need to get DK? But I do acknowledge he is a good receiver. I'm not saying that he's bad. The problem is, even if DK is slightly better than George Pickens, that's what I think, he's better mentally, in my opinion, which is the big problem, in my opinion, with George Pickens. If George Pickens gets that mind right, I think he can be a hell of a receiver. It's everything after. Everything after DK. I don't even know what to say. I like... so Robert Woods, I don't think he's going to be good. I didn't know he was having a bad camp. Roman Wilson. Your Rodgers came out and said that he needs to get in a better state of mentally, right? Something like that.
I think it was more or less like a motivation because like him and Roman have had like a solid camp over the course of the last 2 weeks, specifically in like the last 3 days. We'll see. I'm not the biggest Roman Wilson guy, so we'll see.
And then the number 4 receiver, and I'm blanking on this dude's name because I actually like the other receiver.
If you're thinking of Calvin Austin,
yes, Calvin Austin.
He's missed the last few days of practice. I don't know what the hell he's dealing with, but something.
Something soft tissue, right?
Yeah.
That would be my guess. Like Tomlin hasn't like really like addressed it too much. So it doesn't seem like anything serious. They're playing it.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all got Rock Taylor?
Rock Taylor, yeah, he's had a hell of a camp. I'm very excited to watch him on
I
Saturday.
came for him. I was like, I wanted somebody to get him in the 7th round. I think he went
my take after the first 2 weeks, he's gonna be on the 53-man roster.
Yeah, big guy. He made some plays out there in Memphis. Underrated.
Yeah.
So for all that, basically DK and right now the biggest problem and that's DK's
Hold on, you're not gonna mention Scotty Miller?
No.
Ben
No. Scotty Miller might be the punt returner, right?
He's not even gonna do that.
Okay.
That's Calvin Austin.
Okay.
Super
But I
Solana?
would think maybe Scotty Miller if Austin takes more of the role of a more day-to-day wide receiver, right? You would have think that Scotty Miller takes it. That's what I thought. But anyway, regardless, my thing is DK Metcalf coming from a team that had 2 legit weapons with him, which helps him relieve some of the pressure. How is DK gonna be like he's the center? The other guys need to step up, right? Because if not, you can just zoom in on DK and what else, right? So that's why I have them 4th. And like I said, I do like Calvin Austin. Of everybody I said, I do like Calvin Austin. He made some plays last year. I think he can potentially be the number 2 that they're looking for DK. But as of right now, you have a lot of question mark after DK, a lot of unproven people. So that's why I have them 4th year. If you want to rebuttal and put your 4, go ahead.
I'm kind of debating putting them there or Cleveland, but I think that Cleveland, like at least I know Cedric Tillman can give me a little something, but I can say the same thing about Calvin Austin. Like I like Cedric Tillman a little bit. So I mean, it's kind of a coin flip. I would probably put the Browns at 4 and put the Steelers at 3, but again, it's more of a coin flip. So far, I mean, what I've seen at camp is Roman Wilson and Aaron, like over the past on Tuesday when I was there, both of them had their best days of camp, which was exciting and what I was hoping to see. But there's still like a big unknown factor with Roman Wilson. Didn't really play at all last year. We'll see where throughout the first 2 weeks, they've put him as the wide receiver 2 on the boundary, and then Calvin Austin as the starting slot guy. So seems to be that's kind of the path for him. On the first depth chart, though, I know a lot of people were freaking out because Roman Wilson was labeled as like the 5th receiver. Don't worry about that. The Steelers just couldn't care less about making one of those things. They
give it to the intern here.
The league makes them.
Nobody cares about that first depth chart.
No. Caleb Johnson was running back 3. Like that's just not how it's going to work. So through walkthroughs and everything and through team drills, he's been the number 2 guy. That's where I assume he'll start the season, barring anything catastrophic. I hope for big things. Aaron talked about it yesterday. He's like, he just needs to, get out of his own head and not worry about so much things, just play within his talent level because he's very talented. So Aaron seems to like him, and that's a positive. Calvin Austin, we know, can play a little bit, but still he's much better suited as just being the slot guy rather than trying to put him on the outside. And then, I'm excited about Rock Taylor. Like Saturday, I am watching what 89. Sorry. Johnny Smith's 81.
And
I'm excited to see what he does.
Taylor, just like all-time football name, right? Like
right. I can think of a bunch of they'll think of some punny thing if he makes the roster.
Taylor, what I mean? Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So I think that he's gonna make the 53-man roster, regardless if they go get another guy or not. And I said this on Believe in Steelers. Like, if it comes down to him or Robert Woods or Scotty Miller, why would you not give it to Rock Taylor? Like, what Scotty Miller and Robert Woods are at this point. At least Rock Taylor is very youthful. He's a rookie. He might be able to blossom into something greater. We know what Scotty Miller and Robert Woods are. So I think he's going to make the roster. And hopefully they have like their own. I'm not saying he's going to be Victor Cruz, but like hopefully, an undrafted guy that can make the roster and be impactful. That would be pretty sick. But the Steelers' absolute cap on this thing is 3. They shouldn't be higher than that. If you put Cleveland above them just because you think that the Judy and Tillman combination is better than the Metcalf and Roman Wilson combination, I wouldn't argue with you too much. I would probably give the slight edge to Pittsburgh just because I think DK is a little better than Jerry Judy.
Q, who's your 4th?
Baltimore.
Yeah. Keep the hater agenda.
I don't even know if I'm hating. I was just looking at this room and I'm just thinking to myself, the only reason we're not talking about this is one of the worst wide receiver rooms is simply because we know Baltimore is going to be pretty good, right? Like if you did not have that faith in Baltimore being good, I don't think we would have any faith in this wide receiver room.
And people say I hate the Ravens.
It's not really a good room. I mean, what Zay Flowers is anchoring the room. He's barely a 1,000-yard wide receiver, right? He got to 1059 last year.
I think, yeah,
1059 on 116 targets. You bring in DeAndre Hopkins, who is like 3 years past expired at this point. Like, let's be real about.
Once he put on the Titans uniform, that's when we all should have known.
He cooked his last couple years in Arizona, right? Like it's been well past due on him, right? 2 teams last year, 80 targets, 610 yards. It's not great for the amount of targets that he was getting there. Not going to get that kind of production there. The one player I will say that I was down on last year that did surprise me was Rashad Bateman. You know, Rashad Bateman was pretty solid last year.
Caught a touchdown on a 5th of his catches, which is a hilarious stat.
Yeah, it's the anti-Deontay Johnson stat, right?
Yeah.
From like a couple of years ago. Where like the man could not catch a touchdown here, right? We talk about it, right? Like how much of the room, how much do you factor in that they get elevated because of Lamar? And I do think Lamar does a great deal of elevating these guys, right? Because, you know, I don't think if Rashad Bateman goes somewhere else, he's really that productive of a wide receiver, especially on a touchdown share basis. Zay Flowers is a fun gadget player, right? But he would usually be a tool. Like he would be in the number 2 with most teams, right? I think if you look at all the wide receivers in the AFC North, if I look at your best guy, Zay Flowers is the guy I'm picking last. I'd rather have Jamar. I'd rather have DK. I'd rather have Jerry Jeudy. You know, if I'm looking for a number 1 guy. Number 2 guys, sure, Rashad Bateman's fine, but is he really out of the class of a Cedric Tillman? Is he really out of the class of other players that we're going to talk about? I don't really think so. I think he has been somebody who had 1 decent year out of 4. You can shake your head, right? Cedric Tillman hasn't been that productive, but I mean, neither was Rashad Bateman until his 4th year in the NFL.
Until his last year.
Well, yeah, his last year in the NFL, where he got the least amount of attention because everybody had already gave up on him as a wide receiver project. So, yeah, it's not really an impressive room. Like, I don't know how people can really debate that it is an impressive room. We're talking about Zay Flowers, the ghost of DeAndre Hopkins, who knows if he stays healthy, right? We could play the game of, if this guy gets injured for Pittsburgh or Cleveland, what's that room turn into? What does that room turn into if Zay Flowers gets injured?
If everybody's number 1 gets injured, right?
Yeah, I'd rather be everybody else.
What? So if DK, so wait. If you're saying if DK gets hurt, you prefer to have Roman Wilson, Woods, right? That's your 2 and 3.
Calvin Austin's going to be the number 3.
Calvin Austin.
Robert Woods might make the. I'm like half and half. He might not just.
Okay,
he'll just get cut.
Fine. And if Jerry Jeudy gets injured, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd rather have Tillman.
Deontay Johnson, who's there.
Deontay Johnson. I'd rather have Tillman and Johnson.
Yeah,
Jamari Thrash.
Deontay Johnson that went through the whole league last year. I don't know. I think
more of a 200-yard game, even when he was going through that turmoil. I don't think there's anybody else in the Ravens depth chart you can say that about.
Talent-wise, Deontay Johnson's incredibly talented.
It's the same thing with your picking.
It's off the field thing, right? And that's a lot of what Cleveland's banking on. But again, like what you're banking on DeAndre Hopkins at 30-something? Well, how old is DeAndre at
33?
After 2 years of a downfall to kind of bounce back up. I think I would rather bet on somebody getting act right in their last year in a year after where they got cut 3 times than somebody at 33 figuring out the fountain of youth, which never happens.
I admire the hater rate happening right now. Personally, this is good. This is I'm the guy who doesn't like Baltimore, but Q is really carrying this torch.
I love it. Q's making some good points though.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just I was surprised.
The thing is,
Baltimore fans hate to see me coming because I don't always come from Baltimore. Like that's the thing. I usually, kind of let shit ride with Baltimore. I've been on the side of their side of the Lamar stuff, but the reason Baltimore fans hate when they see me coming is because I usually bring stuff that does kind of credibly kind of drop
the thing is, and I don't want to say too much because
the Roquan agenda has been a successful agenda so far, right? Because there's some truth to it that I don't think enough people acknowledge. But yeah, I mean, like, is Baltimore's room, Sonny, like even you somebody probably gonna put them at 2 or 3, right? Do you truly believe that room is that different than Cleveland and Pittsburgh's?
Yes.
Why?
because again, I think if all our number ones go down, and look, I can even buy the argument of DK and say and sorry that I'm not bringing the Bengals receivers because we know everybody's gonna
Yeah, the
take them.
Bengals number one goes down.
Right.
They're winning this competition.
But yeah, exactly. But if you take DK,
If the Bengals
and
number
Judy,
2 goes down, they might still win this. I like Andre Yoshivas
I mean, is it him or is it Jermaine Burton at this point?
or Jermaine Burton. Yeah.
but anyway, I do like, and I think the big thing is people are talking here like we're hoping the Ravens are hoping DeAndre Hopkins here comes and does 800 yards. I don't think that's what I think what D-Hop is here for is a red zone threat,
They
right?
can do that still, though. That's the question. Because if he could do that, I thought they would have utilized him more in Kansas City in that
And the
role.
thing in Kansas City is he was literally the number one because they had nobody else. All the receivers went down last year.
So they had no other options.
But that's
They
making
could have
Q's
used
point.
him in that role, and like he wasn't successful in that role. That's what I'm saying. Like,
But my point, but my difference is, I get that's Q's point, but my counterpoint is because he was the only receiver, the defense can zoom in. If any team wants to put number one
who are
corner,
they not focusing on to not like if they really like in the end zone? Or are you gonna focus on 5'6" Zay Flowers in the red zone? Like they're gonna focus on DeAndre Hopkins.
no, because
And maybe Mark Andrews.
no. But Zay Flowers gets targets in the red zone because he gets open, and so does Bateman. But my point is, what in the case that D-Hop brings to this team is you have a 50-50 guy that is tall and can high point the ball, other than tight ends, that you can just throw it. Because that's Zay Flowers can do. That Bateman can either do, right? Bateman is more like, I'll get open. Zay Flowers is more like, I'll get open. We don't have right now a guy that you just throw it and say, either you catch it or
how
you
much
don't.
are you expecting from DeAndre Hopkins? Because I think Q does have a point. Like, it looks like DeAndre Hopkins is a shell of himself. It's like Julio on the Titans right now. Like
Julio and the Eagles.
Julio on the Eagles kind of status right now. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, but even in that situation, Sonny, it's like, what is that, 2 or 3 touchdowns?
I'm gonna ask you something.
300 yards.
Legit question.
Like, are you expecting a similar production that you got out of Odell?
No, look, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you guys to just answer it.
Okay.
Do you think DeAndre Hopkins could get me 450 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns?
It's guaranteed.
How many targets?
I think he can get 3
Hold
touchdowns.
on. How many targets?
I don't know, 40. I don't know.
40
That'd be
targets?
more than
450
40
yards?
So for 450 yards, he would need like 27 yards a game. That's doable. As a number 3, he'd be the number 3 receiver for sure.
And that's what I'm saying. Last year,
And
the number
receiver for a team that leads the league in rushing yards and rushing attack.
That's my only thing that I would hold back from him.
They're a running team.
But that opens the lanes even more for him. So my point is,
But
the
he's
reason
not getting open no more. Like that's the thing. One-on-one coverage. It don't matter if he's getting like if they're focusing on this and that. The thing that will open it up if it's like he getting double covered and then like he gets open, but he doesn't get open anymore. Like that's just not who he is anymore.
What I don't have his Kansas City.
Last
His
year,
Kansas City stats is 41 receptions, 437 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Last year for the Ravens. Last year for the Ravens, the number 3 receiver was Nelson Aguilar. He had 231 yards on 14 catches as a receiver.
That's what I see for him.
230
some yards, 4 touchdowns, maybe.
My point is, he in my opinion, D-Hop can surpass what Nelson Aguilar did for this team, and that's what you're asking him to do.
I want to point out, right, like in this conversation, you could turn your nose up at like the idea of like a Cedric Tillman, right? But Cedric Tillman, from week 7 to 11, when he actually got targets, 330 yards for 3 touchdowns. If you average that out to 17 games, it's about 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Like that's the level he was producing at when he was getting targets in Cleveland last year.
But you're talking,
and that's
Cedric Tillman is your what?
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm saying like when we're comparing him to like a Rashad Bateman and you're saying like, oh, I don't know. I think it's obvious Rashad. I'm like, the production says like, hey, if he was able to stay healthy last year, there's an argument that he could be more productive. I'm not saying it's definite. If it was definite, I'd be standing on it, but it's not definite right now. But the idea that like Cedric and Rashad ain't in the same class, I think that's not really the reality of it.
Well, then now you're moving the conversation to Rashad because we were talking here about Hopkins. I think my problem with D-Hop,
like they're just as questionable as everybody else in this division, and they're older.
So, couple of things here. I think in our division, if you take the Bengals definitely pulling everybody's weight. If you take the Bengals out of this equation, we're talking about probably 3 of lower tier receiving cores in the league.
Who has if we take the Bengals out this conversation, who has the best wide receiver? I think we could all say probably DK.
Probably DK.
DK.
I think it's Judy. That's my opinion. I think it's Judy.
DK, right? We can go back and forth on it, right? Who has the best number 2?
Number 2 receiver. Who's the next best after that guy?
Yeah, who's the second?
So it would be Tillman, Bateman, or Roman.
I take Bateman.
Probably take Bateman, just because like I've seen him prove it.
I'm not a Bateman fan, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a Bateman guy, but like I haven't seen Roman Wilson do anything. And
I would say you would have to take Bateman at this point.
You would have to take Bateman, but it's close between Bateman and Tillman, like Q was saying, because Tillman, you could say, is Rashard Bateman from a couple years ago. And this could be his breakout season.
It could.
He's 6'3", 210, right? Like he's a much bigger profile.
He's gonna have a lot of opportunities in that offense. So I think it's a toss up between them. I think the smart person would say, or if you're trying to do a sure bet, I think you would say Rashad Bateman. But I think if you're a gambling man, you could take Tillman.
Well, yeah,
and it could end up being Deontay Johnson, like if he just gets his shit together.
Now, really, honestly, and truly, it's Deontay Johnson.
Well,
talent-wise, it's Deontay Johnson. It's obvious that it's Deontay Johnson.
But the problem
I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're going to put him in a position to be reliable week 1, right? Like we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know how Baltimore room is better than what Cleveland has, even though Cleveland's is not great. I think you can make the argument that it's better than Pittsburgh's. I'm just hating, right? Like,
that was some good content though, but because you pointed out like some of the flaws that they do have potentially.
All this room has flaws. I agree with that. Yeah. All these rooms have
DK
flaws.
is significantly better than Zay Flowers to the point to where, I'm just gonna give it to Pittsburgh because I don't think
DK
I'd rather throw to DK than have better options that are worse across the board.
So let me say this, and I'm gonna throw it to you because you haven't. If you tell me, Sonny, let's take against Cincinnati's receivers out, because Cincinnati had the first receiver and the second receiver in our list, right? But if you say, give me your top 3 receivers, if the Ravens can pick anybody, I think Judy I will pick first. I will take Zay Flowers second, and third I will take DK. That's how I will rank these 3 guys. And again, also, as you guys say, you guys are not a big guy. I'm personally not a DK guy. I think he's good. I don't know if he is $150 million good, but he's definitely good. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Obviously, this is the year that he will have the least amount of help since he has been in the league, right? So we'll see how he does. Maybe he performs even better. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Definitely we'll see. It'll be interesting. Ace, who's your 4th?
Yeah, man. I mean, I almost forgot Deontay Johnson was on the Browns. So for me, like, and I think I read an article this offseason where Deontay Johnson is in a position where this is likely his last chance in the NFL. We saw what happened in Baltimore, that situation. Nobody wanted him. So, this is kind of his last shot with the Browns. So if I'm getting a Deontay Johnson that knows that and knows that he has to do something this year, he could be backed into a corner where he actually does perform like he should. Then you talk about Jerry Jeudy. I do favor DK Metcalf as being better than Jerry Jeudy. I side with Jared when it comes to that. But then you talk about Cedric Tillman. So now I'm seeing Cedric Tillman, a potential emergence of Deontay Johnson that's trying to get some redemption to get another job in the league or do something. Because he's one play away from the Antonio Brown out of the league kind of stuff, playing in the XFL or whatever. So I'm going to go with the Steelers here. And it's simply just because I like Calvin Austin. I like DK Metcalf. After that, Roman Wilson, the other guys there, I'm just not sure. I know what Deontay Johnson is if he has his head on straight. Now, Deontay Johnson doesn't last the season. He just kicks off the team. Obviously, it's the Browns here. But I think a motivated Deontay Johnson that knows that he's on his last leg right now has no choice but to perform. And there's really a lot of opportunity in Cleveland for him because after Jerry Jeudy, you can't definitively say, like, there's this guy. Like, he could potentially leapfrog Cedric Tillman as wide receiver 2 as well. So I'm going to go with the Steelers here. just because I think their wide receiver 3 is a little bit murky versus what Cleveland has. But I think that they are interchangeable. And I'm taking a huge gamble, honestly, especially since Deontay Johnson was cut. Like, was on 3 different teams, or one team twice, and then like another team. So I'm taking a huge gamble here. But Deontay Johnson, who I didn't realize was on the Browns, even though I read that article this offseason, completely forgot. I'm going to go with the Steelers here. So obviously that means that my third is going to be the Browns. So I'll get into that. I think with the Browns, Jerry Jeudy finally kind of realized some of that potential that people thought that he had when he was drafted with the Denver Broncos. I think he's a very good receiver. Again, I think in comparison to some of the other receivers around, I think you could argue that he may be better than Zay Flowers, like Q said. I mean, he did have a better season from that perspective. The Browns, crazy enough, though, the Browns after the Bengals were, I think, the second most, or maybe actually the first most team that threw more or passed more. I think the Bengals were right after him. So he's in an offense where they're going to throw the ball. He came through last year. I think Cedric Tillman, you want to see what you have from him. Like if Q is saying with the injury, if he's able to take the next step, we'll see. I think in comparison to Baltimore, some of the stuff that Q said was really good. I just think when it comes down to it, I hate Rashad. I'm not a Rashad Bateman fan. I feel like he's the most overrated like wide receiver ever.
He wasn't even rated on people's board, but I have been talking about him
like
for a while.
The extension, no, you guys love Rashad Bateman. I see the flock on Twitter. You guys love Rashad Bateman.
Ace, if you remember, I liked him out of the draft from Minnesota. Remember, I was excited when they drafted him. So
yeah. On this show, one of your hot takes, Sonny, infamously, was when Jamar Chase was having his drops that Rashad Bateman was going to have a better season than Jamar Chase. That may have started it, but
that may have started the Triple Crown.
I'm with Q2. I think the DeAndre Hopkins
fan base and any wide receiver, they're as desperate at that position as like Browns fans are with quarterbacks. So like if you just show anything, dog, they start being like, oh, is he going to be the third guy to get 1,000 yards for this franchise? Like,
yeah, it's. Q's not wrong about DeAndre Hopkins either. I have real concerns about him, going from a passing offense like the Chiefs that Andy Reid, like you literally have Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, all of that, and you only had 400 yards. Like that's, and then you're going to a rushing offense primarily, and you're playing in the AFC North where it's tougher. I guess a successful season for him is like 500 or 600 yards. I think you're doing cartwheels if that's what it is. I don't think it's going to be that. I think DeAndre Hopkins is cooked. I think he's done. I think that, like Q is saying, I think some of the younger wide receivers with the Browns have more upside than him at this point. But I've got to go with the Browns third here until I see, that wide receiver 2 solidified. Now, if Deontay Johnson is wide receiver 2, it's a conversation here between Baltimore and Cleveland. Because if he's able to step it up and Jerry Jeudy, that's a pretty decent tandem. Let's say that Deontay Johnson has like an 800-yard season or something like that. Like that's not bad for Deontay Johnson in a Cleveland offense. And then you couple that with Jerry Jeudy that could have like 1,100 yards or something like that. So then we could have a conversation between Zay Flowers and Bateman versus those two. Because I'm not believing in the DeAndre Hopkins thing, but I'm gonna go with Cleveland at 3.
So I'm gonna go with Cleveland at 3, and I agree with some points that you're making here, Ace. Because I agree in the case of Deontay. Deontay's a very talented receiver. We saw him in Pittsburgh where he was right. Although he dropped the ball frequently, he still was very talented and hard to cover. My worry about his mental status, he was the one in this offseason that offered. The Ravens didn't say this, by the way. This did not. He offered. They wanted me to go. I was like, I was cold. I'm not playing. Like, why are you saying that, dude? Like, why are you offering that information? Because again, the Ravens didn't put that out there. He put it out there in a podcast. I think if he's right, and I agree, this is probably his last, especially if he does anything off the field. I don't think anybody signs it. Like, if he doesn't do anything off the field and he had a decent year, not great, I think people will still give him a chance. But definitely off the field stuff, I think he is highly incentivized to be clean. to stay clean. In the case of the Browns, although I have them third, Jerry Jeudy, I think talk about underrated. I think people might tell me DK is the better one. I think Jeudy. I just said in the case of DK, we'll see how he plays without it. And again, he without talent around him, he might be great. Jeudy showed it. Jeudy showed it last year, right? He was the guy. Who was the second? Right? I mean, the tight end, Njoku, he was good, but who's the second receiver to offload some of that pressure on Jeudy? And he was there. He was there with whatever quarterback they threw with him, right? He was there and he produced. He's not a red zone super threat, but he definitely moves the ball. He definitely pushes the. I actually think Jared Jeudy is completely underrated. It's a bargain also for the Browns because whatever they sign him, he's not getting paid enough.
Remember people shat on that contract when the Browns signed
Yeah,
him?
I remember. And that's why I wanted to bring that point.
Another edition of Browns do something normal. People just find a way to make it weird.
That it was a great trade on compensation. It was a great signing on
It was
money.
like a 5th round pick, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like 5th round pick. And
6th round, I thought.
We got him for like 18 million for like 3 years or something like that. And then people are like, why would they do that? It's terrible. I'm like, it's clearly making an upside play.
Yeah, and they hit. They hit. My thing is, look, Cedric Tillman, year 3, he might have the jump. It's not that I don't like Tillman. I like Tillman, but we'll see with him, right? I need to see that production. Same thing with Deontay. I actually think if Deontay goes back to be the Deontay that the Pittsburgh Steelers had, and again, I think as he's put it out, he has the incentive to be that guy. Well, we're talking about Deontay. Deontay was considered our number 1 receiver for a moment there in Pittsburgh. And Jerry Jeudy, as I said, I think he is the best receiver, not naming the Bengals. Then I definitely can be a number 2. They're definitely there too. Not only there too, I think that I said how you can argue that these 3 teams are in the bottom tier of the NFL. If you have now legitimate 2 guys that can be considered number 1s, now you're not in the bottom tier. That's a big if with Deontay Johnson. Big if. Not impossibility, but a big if. And I said, Tillman, we'll see. He needs to show it more consistently. That's the thing. Jared, I know you mentioned the Cleveland was your 3. Do you want to elaborate why?
No, I would probably put, I mean, might be a little biased, but I would probably put Pittsburgh at 3, Cleveland at 4. We talked about the Steelers a little bit already, but if Deontay Johnson does pan out, then I would probably flip-flop those. Jamari Thrash, another guy who was a rookie last year who could take a little bit of a step up along with Cedric Tillman. So they're probably deeper at the moment. I wouldn't argue putting Cleveland at 3. I guess I'm hoping the Steelers have good receivers for the first time. And in terms of like a receiving room, like they haven't had like a really deep one in a minute. So hopefully Roman Wilson pans out. Calvin Austin continues to play well, but I wouldn't argue too much putting Cleveland 3 and Pittsburgh 4.
Q, who's your 3?
Nope, it might be without Q for a quick second. Might as well. Let's take this time to maybe read give a word from Chubbies.
So let's talk about our sponsor, Chubbies. Jarrett, take it on.
Yes, Chubbies is ready to help you with their NFL collection. Whether you are tailgating, grilling, or riding the highs and lows of the game from your couch, Chubbies has the officially licensed NFL gear to keep you looking like the ultimate fanatic with the bold designs featuring your favorite NFL teams. Chubbies game day gear isn't just comfortable, it's a statement. Rep your team's logo in wildly comfortable polos, swim trunks, and gym-ready mesh shorts. All the comfort and swagger you need to take on every touchdown dance, chest bump, and dramatic fourth quarter meltdown. If you're not a jersey guy, this is an elite alternative. If you are a jersey fanatic, something tells me you'll love their NFL collection, because when you're invested in the game, your outfit should be too. For a limited time, use our exclusive code AFCNT for $10 off at chubbiesshorts.com/AFCNT. Chubbies is also the ultimate football apparel brand, so much so they created their own fantasy football league. George Kittle, Ian Rappaport, and others have come together to assemble the Chubbies League on NFL Fantasy. Each week, the top 5 scorers will win a chance at Chubbies polo/shorts combos with their team's logos. The grand champion gets the chance of the ultimate fan experience, a 5-city, 5-stadium NFL game tour with a +1. While the fantasy flop faces a hilarious and unforgettable punishment only Chubbies could pull off. Head to chubbiesshorts.com/the Chubbies League to learn more and have some fun. Get ready for the most outrageous fantasy football season of your life. And again, $10 off with the promo code AFCNT at chubbysshorts.com/AFCNT.
Check it out in the description. There's the link. Look, guys, people are like, what are you guys matching? Look, they hook us up. It's really comfortable. It's the stretchy fabric, very soft, very cool. They have all the
y'all
teams.
know that I'm in Florida, so it's 100 degrees outside, so I got the swim trunks.
Yeah.
Miss me with that.
Look, you could spill bear on this shirt and it'll be dry in like what seconds? Perfect for tailgating. You want to go out there, you want to be a sweaty mess before the game. It's gonna sweat right off of you. It's that dry fast kind of fabric on it. And I like the collars, right? Real like thick, strong collars. They're not gonna get fucking flappy and shit on you, or you dry it one time and it gets all loose on you, and now you look like you stock a CVS for a living. No, it's like it's
not
nice.
that there's anything wrong if you do stock a CVS for a living.
Yeah, it's just, that's not how you want your polos to look, right? So really nice fabric, breathable fabric. And look, even if I know Ace is worried about it being hot, but this is humid safe. This is heat safe right here. So, really nice, light, breathable, but you can wear it with some khakis if that's kind of how you get down. Or if you just want to be like the biggest Browns fan on the golf course, I can see this really
Good golf polo.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
You get that nice little swing. I don't know. I never played golf before.
Me
But I
neither.
guess
Mini golf. That's my extent of golf. Mini golf.
Look, you can play some pickleball in this right here. I know that. You can get a nice little swing in there.
And then they have swim trunks like Ace was showing. They have a bunch of stuff. Go check it out. $10 off when you use our code. Description in the bottom. Go check them out. We appreciate the sponsorship from Chubbies.
Thank you, Chubbies.
Okay, so we have a super chat here real quick. Ellie Sports Guy says Bateman overrated. D-Hop was, yet Ravens have a super team until it's time. Do these rankings.
Yeah, wide receiver ain't part of the super team, my boy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's the one part of the Ravens where you like
every super team,
wide receivers.
Every super team has a Mario Chalmers. And,
yeah, this is their Norris Cole position.
Yeah, Norris Cole.
Yeah. This is the Ravens have been like this forever. And the reason people say the Ravens are a super team in the regular season isn't really to compliment them, right? It's more of a commentary on how Lamar Jackson plays in the regular season versus the postseason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll be the one guy to put Baltimore at 2 then, because apparently everybody else is gonna. Oh, we lost Sonny, it seems. What were you saying, Ace?
Baltimore at 2. I'm the only one to put them at 3. No, I'll put them at 4.
You put them at 4. So wait, are you putting them at 2 then, Ace?
Man,
I think Sonny put them at 2.
I guess
Sonny put them at 2.
Sonny's putting them at 2. I guess I have to put them at 2. Yeah,
I was gonna say because you already ranked Cleveland and Pittsburgh, so by default, considering I don't think you're gonna put Zay Flowers above Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins.
Think of that center like number 50 for the Heat. He was just some rando guy that they had at center. Not Whiteside. He was worse than Whiteside.
Joel
Anthony. Oh,
that is D-Hop.
Yeah.
That could be D-Hop this season.
It's more like Udonis Haslam when he just sat on the bench for like 3
years to play point guard. That's what it is. They got Mike Bibby back there. Like, dog, he played for the Heat. Dwayne Wade on the Cavs that one year. That's what they got over there, dog.
D Rose was on that team. Yeah,
D Rose is on that team.
I got a D Rose bobblehead right down here. It's not on
that team.
Celtic Shaq. It could be that.
We're gonna bring in Ben Wallace to stop Dwight Howard in his prime. Yeah, okay.
Chicago Bulls legend Ben Wallace.
Wait,
DeAndre Hopkins really gonna bring y'all over the hump this year.
Sorry, I got a blip, but the Q said number 3.
No, my number 3 was
I thought it was Pittsburgh, wasn't it?
Pittsburgh, right? Yeah, it's Pittsburgh.
Got it. Sorry, brain fart. And then I had an issue here in the computer.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
I'll put Baltimore number 2, I guess. Yeah, since I put Pittsburgh 3 and Cleveland 4. Zay Flowers is good. Rashad Bateman is he's kind of like Baltimore's Gabe Davis when Gabe Davis was in Buffalo. Like he'll average like 18 yards a catch and get have a couple big games, but for the most part he's there.
Actually good.
he's there to take up space and run block. So that's just kind of his role. And then, yeah, D-Hop, I think it will be very similar to what the Odell stuff was, where it's more name value than anything. But I'd still put them at number 2 just because I don't know what it's going to look like behind DK. But like I said, if Deontay Johnson plays well, all these rankings change. So I'm putting an asterisk next to the Browns because I think that they could be quite good. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Baltimore is my penciled in number 2.
I will say this. I have Baltimore obviously at number 2 because I'm not going to have them at number 1. But I think the crazy thing is because D-Hop is such a big name, people talked here and in X like we're expecting D-Hop to be the D-Hop of Houston. That's not, again, the reason why I asked the numbers that I asked earlier, that was just slightly above what Nelson Aguilar got, right? And Nelson Aguilar was fine with the Ravens, right? As a number 3. We're talking about your number 3 receiver. Is Nelson Aguilar red zone targets? He was basically the same version of Bateman. Like his whole point with Nelson Aguilar is I'm gonna try to get open, right? Which is what Zay Flowers does. What D-Hop here brings is a different type of receiver in the red zone, and that's why I said I can see him being in that third and intermediate, one-on-one corner that is a slightly shorter, whatever, and then you just throw it, right? Which is what Baltimore used to do with Anquan in his last year here, right? Throw it high. Sometimes he catches, sometimes he doesn't, and whatever. I think that's what D-Hop gets to them. Also, keep being a mentor for Zay Flowers and company. Very hard worker. People love his work ethic and whatever. I think that's the main thing, right? And then after D-Hop, the Baltimore Ravens, we have Tylan Wallace, a guy that, he's okay.
2021 Senior Bowl draft crush Tylan Wallace out. Where the hell did he go to school? Oklahoma State. Yeah. See, all right. See.
And the thing with him is he is.
I got Tez Walker.
He's fine. Tez Walker is another guy. Tez Walker. Yeah, Tez Walker's a stretch guy, right? That's the.
I don't know. I watched Tez Walker for a few days at the Senior Bowl, and I've seen enough of Tez Walker.
He's really good until you touch him.
Yeah, that is run straight and hope that he doesn't get pressed.
Yeah, so I think reports out of campus, definitely you can see the difference in year 1 to 2. And again, that's with the caveat that he's not here asked to be not even a number 3. He's more like
instead of 9 yards, 3 receptions, he's going to get 35 yards, 12 receptions.
He might get 100 yards. But my point is, he's what, your number 4,
number 5.
I mean,
you don't even get a number past like 4.
So my point is with Tez Walker is he's a guy here to learn to hopefully year 3/4 to see if you have a receiver. This is year 2, right? This is not a year that I'm expecting a lot from Tez. I think that the receiving is solid. Again, I think these 3 teams are flawed. That's why I have them at 2. I like Zay Flowers a lot. I like Rashad Bateman. I always like Rashad Bateman. And then I think D-Hop is fine for being a number 3. I'm not here freaking out. Oh my God, D-Hop's gonna produce 700-800 yards. I think 400. Give me 400, four touchdowns. I think that at that point you surpass Nelson Aguilar, and I think that will be plenty in my book because the other 2 guys who have the bulk plus the tight ends.
Are you expecting Rashad Bateman to improve what he did last year?
I think Bateman gets close to 1,000 again. It all depends how they get.
Does he match those touchdown numbers? Because
I think so. So the thing,
I highly doubt he gets 9.
So the thing with how Bateman gets most of his touchdowns is he gets one-on-one coverage. The safeties are biting on the run, and Bateman. What I think Bateman's underrated is his separation downfield, and that's how he gets a lot of his yardage, a lot of his touchdowns. Right? It's not necessarily in short yardage. Yes, he will get the occasional slant or the post, but it's mostly downfield. And I think Lamar's going to do the same thing because Zay Flowers gets attention. So Zay Flowers is very hard for you to hit him down the field because he will get attention. But when you have Zay on the one side, you have King Henry there, then he gets one-on-one. And if the safety bites inside, then that's how he gets it. I think he gets, if not 9, close to 9. I think he gets very similar numbers. Yeah. Well, I think Zay Flowers, because Zay Flowers got how many? Zay Flowers didn't get as much, right?
Zay Flowers got like 4, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what Zay Flowers will get because Zay Flowers will be between the 20s, and Bateman will be more your home run guy. And I think again 4/5 for D-Hop. I think is what D-Hop won't get a lot of yards. That's what I'm expecting at least. And then the Titans obviously get a bulk of also the yardage.
All right. Well, let's see. We got 8 minutes until Colts Raiders kick off.
Yes.
And I'm covering that game. So let's let Ace take his 8-minute victory lap and talk about why Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins would dunk on all of our favorite teams.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase, Tee Higgins, Yoshi, Jermaine Burton. I mean, come on, man. I mean, we already knew we could have got this out of the way when we started. I mean, Bengals wide receiver 1. We got 2 wide receiver 1s. There's nothing really much else to say. I will say though, about Baltimore, like they do have those other 2 guys, Tylan Wallace, Tez. Another hot take. I think Tez is going to overtake DeAndre Hopkins. I think that happens.
I'm hoping.
Season.
I would love
I think that happens.
I agree with that, Ace, but I think it's going to be much sadder in real time.
It's more of like a by default rather than Tez is awesome.
By the end, like
the future's now, old man.
Like when Eddie Jackson got replaced, it was like, hey man, somebody's got to step in.
Nights like this. Is that how DeAndre Hopkins is going to be at the gate in Baltimore?
They're going to be like, damn, man, it really ain't 2013 no more.
Goodness. But yeah, Bengals number 1. I mean, we knew that going into it. It's, 2 wide receiver 1s on one team. It's one of the best wide receiver rooms, in my opinion. It's the best wide receiver room in the NFL. So easy number 1 for me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Best wide receiver. I mean, who gets close to the Bengals wide receiver?
Probably Eagles,
Minnesota, Philadelphia.
No, but Addison is not close.
Philadelphia
is the one that I was saying.
Philadelphia definitely gets a little close. It's just AJ Brown's not as good as Jamar Chase.
Yeah, so I was going to say that
Smitty might be better than T. Right? That's a debate.
I think that's more of the debate than anything about like the top receiver in the league is Devontae Smith a better 2 than Tee Higgins?
Yeah, it's like, would you rather have those 2 versus those 2, right? Like
you get Yoshi and then you get Jermaine Burton, and then
after the Eagles' top 2, it's a guy who's going to be running an auto zone in a month and a half. So
we're disrespecting Zacchaeus, right?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God, yes.
Oh, is he back in Philadelphia? He was in Washington last year.
He was somewhere. I don't know. I remember one time he caught the ball. He's like, look how loaded they are. He was the Falcons' number 1 receiver last year. I'm like, kind of the Falcons' number 1 wide receiver last year.
I think the Bengals are the clear number 1 in the league, but I think Philadelphia is the only one that gets close to them.
There's probably a team we're missing.
And Addison, the Minnesota Vikings.
Tampa Bay's got some guys, but
Tampa's deep.
Tampa's deep, but
it's
Godwin's hurt though. We don't know when he's going to get back.
Yeah. It's Mike Evans, like maybe like
Tampa Bay is a bit of an unction right now because Mike Evans is old, Chris Godwin's not young,
and
we're like, oh, they still got it because they're like our era, but
the hype that the Rams are getting because of the Adams. I'm like,
they got Puka Nacua
and Adams.
Well, I mean, we need to have another conversation.
Bengals Steel here says, shout out to you for the super chat. Like Ace said, Lamar has 9 90s overall. That's how
this is the thing that I don't get.
Assistant quarterback.
With a Madden.
He's not
all pros.
They gave him 290 overall as a wide receiver.
No, they gave him 990 overalls. Like, unfortunately, your boy Rowe is in that 90s. He's a
sure.
Roquan Smith still a 90, huh?
94, I think.
Something like that.
94? 94. Right. Hey, Sonny, do you even believe that?
I think Rowe should be 90.
Never, yes, it's always something else.
No, because I think he's like a 90.
He's like an 88 with some badges. Badges, like come on. Roquan Smith 94. It's like
I think that's what it is
from the game. Like TJ Watts, is he a 94?
TJ Watts, yeah, I think he's a 97 this year.
Come on, man. Roquan Smith don't even feel like the same class of defensive player, but all right.
I haven't gotten the new Madden yet, but I saw somebody say, it's still the same, and I really hope it's not.
Lamar 99, Henry 98, Rowe is 94. Maravika 93, Humphrey 92, Jair 91, Mark
That's
Andrews
so
91.
disrespectful to Marlon Humphrey that they don't have him as the best player on that team.
Kyle Hamilton 90, so he's lower than
Yeah,
all
that's
them.
what I'm saying, man. Kyle Hamilton's easily the best defensive player on that
I
team, and he's a
agree.
90. It's stupid. People who make these things,
I agree.
I can make a
This
whole
was
other video why
Ravens
Madden
defense that looked
sucks.
highly suspect for like 10 weeks last year. That were like
until the last game against the Bengals. Yes.
Yeah. And then, well, I mean, they look good against Kansas City. They just couldn't score for shit.
I mean, well, no, against Kansas City.
Yeah, in the
week one?
playoffs.
We didn't play them.
No, you didn't lose to Kansas City this year.
The
Who y'all
Bills.
lose
The
to?
Bills. The Bills.
Ah,
Buffalo.
oh, it's worse. I
The
thought.
Bills. Okay. That being said, is anybody else wants to add anything to? Because I know we want to close at 7 because
I don't
there's
think
games.
so.
Anything you want to give the Bengals?
That I think they're going to win the division.
Rashad Bateman would probably be like the 5th man on the Bengals roster right now.
No.
He would be.
No. Bateman and the Bengals this year is fighting for 3.
Burton, I
He'd
don't know.
be on the bubble. He'd be on the bubble right now.
He'd be,
He'd
on
be in the
bubble.
hunt.
Yeah,
No. He's better than
he'd be in the
Burton.
bubble.
He's better than
He's
Burton.
not better than
I
Burton.
feel
Nope.
like we just
Nope.
let Rashad Bateman clear Calvin Austin today, and I don't think we should have let that fly. Like,
He's
Calvin
better than
Austin's
Burton.
fun.
yeah,
Calvin
And
Austin? Yeah, I
Rashad
like
Bateman
Calvin
is
Austin.
working with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, who creates so much opportunity for him, and he's barely more productive than Calvin Austin, who's working with fucking Russell Wilson.
Hey, Sauce Gardner said that his the toughest player he ever covered in college was Calvin Austin.
Hey, look, ain't nobody saying that about Rashad.
That's fine.
Big facts.
There's Hall of Fame college people that don't do shit in the NFL. So and there's people that can barely made it. They're undrafted and then they kill in the NFL. So
They're like, yeah, man, there's this guy. He got 800 yards one season. He's a great player, Rashad Bateman. I don't know, man. I feel like we let Rashad clear a lot today for somebody that we was roasted last year.
I think 2 things can be true. It's that Rashad Bateman had a good year last year, and if he played with a mid quarterback, he would not be good.
He beat David Bell.
Oh, good.
I mean, you're talking about Bateman and then you're trying to Tillman, but Tillman didn't have the production either.
Tillman was more productive per catch than he was with Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston.
Bailey Zappi
and Bailey Zapp. Well, he didn't play with Bailey Zapp.
Oh, didn't
he? Did play with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So I'm just saying, like, he was productive, but look at the year Lamar had last year. I mean, everybody was productive with him. Is it really going to replicate itself? 9 touchdowns,
we'll see.
800 yards. That feels like career max to me. Like, that feels like going back down to 500.
I think he's floating around both of those numbers again. I think he is near that, maybe past it a little bit, maybe he's a little bit under. I think he is. I think those are his numbers again.
Yeah,
I think Zay Flowers also. I don't think he gets too much more.
If in 3 or 4 years he's one of those guys the Steelers are trotting out at their second wide receiver, I don't think he's out of place with Van Jefferson and Robert Woods.
I mean, in 3 or 4
that
years,
class of guys. Yeah, I think he is about the same.
Okay. That being said, guys, we're going to close it here. Again, thank you for Chubbies to sponsor this show. Go check in the description below. Gray Apparel. Preseason is here. Next week, we'll be back ranking the tight ends. We only have, tight ends, O-line. I think those are the 2 position groups we have, right? Yeah, I think so. Oh, running back, sorry. Tight ends, O-line, and running back.
How many sacks will the Bengals give up in their first team snaps today? Yes.
I don't know.
It's
So
the second
his first team playing or
no?
second team?
Nobody's first team is playing.
Our first team is.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. The slow
The
start
Ravens
stuff.
are.
So enough of this 0-3 bullshit you're getting out there in August.
The
Nah, we getting
Ravens.
out there
They did
early.
this last year, and then they lost to Jacoby Brissett.
Nah, we didn't. We only
They didn't play
played
their
our
starters in the preseason last 2 years.
Yeah, we didn't.
So the Ravens are only playing the guards because there's a competition for the left guard. So I think those are the only ones that are playing the guards. Anyway, guys, have fun watching your team's preseason game. We'll be here back. We'll talk about each preseason game for each other, and then we'll be ranking the tight ends. Until next time, peace out.